The difficult economy is pushing some people to their limit. With a future blackened by job loss or financial disaster, there's a growing number of people who think the only answer is suicide. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey joins us live tonight. And Jeff, Spokane police did all they could today to keep one man from ending his life.
Well, you know, police do bring an awful lot of firepower to these suicidal gun calls, but really the best weapon they have on scene is a crisis negotiator. Armed with little more than their voice and their mediation skills, these highly trained officers talk a lot of people out of hurting themselves, but today they were not successful. So far this year, at least 4 Spokane County residents have committed suicide in cases where investigators determined the economy was a factor. Police were called to this home on West Dalton today after a man despondent over his employment situation announced he was going to the garage to kill himself.
The officers that established communication with him in the very beginning did see him come to the door with a gun in hand to his head, so they had confirmation that he was armed.
And that's why police did not have the luxury of leaving and just letting the man calm down. Crisis negotiator Officer Kelly Gately talked with a man for almost 2 hours, assuring him that his problems were not as bad as he imagined. But after telling officers to pass on his goodbyes to his friends and family, a single shot rang out. Officer Gately knew her attempts to save someone's life had failed as she stood by dejected as other police continued to call out to the barricaded victim. When he didn't respond, incident commanders called in this robot armed with a remote camera in the hopes of confirming the man was no longer a threat.
That was for 2 reasons. 1, to protect the officers, and 2, to avoid a situation where maybe we would be forced into some kind of lethal encounter.
But apparently the man did not want to force police to shoot him to commit suicide by cop. The man did it himself, and he did it without hurting anyone else. Now, losing your job greatly affects a person's self-esteem, and that can quickly trigger a downward spiral of despair. If that's happened to you or someone you care about, don't be afraid to dial up the First Call for Help crisis hotline here in Spokane. The number is 838-4428. An easier number to remember is 211. If there's no one there to answer your call, you'll be automatically connected to the crisis hotline. Reporting live at the Public Safety Building, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.